Good morning, everyone. Now we discuss coelom. What is coelom? Coelom is also known as a true body cavity. What is coelom? Coelom also known as a true body cavity. Definition is the cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal lined by mesodermal layer is known as coelom. You all know it is the body wall. So here also body wall. The cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal. So here body wall, alimentary canal. The cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal covered by mesodermal layer is known as coelom. Before we discuss the coelom, it is better to discuss development of a multicellular animal. You can easily understand coelom with the help of development of multicellular organism. So development of a multicellular organism. Development of a multicellular organism begins with zygote. How zygote is formed? Union of male and female gametes. Male gamete is spermatozoa, female gamete is ovum. Due to union of male and female gamete, single-celled zygote is formed. Sperm is single cell, ovum also single cell. Due to union of these two cells, again a single-celled zygote is formed. So you already know gametes are haploid. Number of chromosome 50%. For example, human spermatozoa contain 23 chromosomes. Ovum contains 23 chromosomes. Zygote contains 23 pairs of chromosomes. So zygote is diploid, gametes are haploid. So the development of any multicellular organism begins with unicellular zygote. Zygote undergo cleavage. What is cleavage? Division of the zygote. First cleavage, second cleavage, like that. Due to first cleavage, two cells are formed. The newly formed cells known as blastomere. Second cleavage 4, third cleavage 8, 16, 32, 64. So in 128 to 256, in this manner, number of cells increases. Due to repeated cleavages, the mass of cells appear as a solid ball-like structure. This solid ball-like structure is known as morula. Morula is known as first developmental stage. Morula. What is morula? Solid mass of ball-like structure, or the ball contains solid mass of cells. Solid mass of cells. Numerous cells. Solid mass of cell. Ball containing solid mass of cells known as morula. Later, all the cells are arranged in a single layer. It is known as blastula. So blastula, hollow ball-like structure. Hollow means cavity. Hollow ball-like structure in which cells are arranged in a single layer is known as blastula. Blastula is the second developmental stage. Morula is the first developmental stage. Blastula is the second developmental stage. So the dorsal half contains small cells known as micromeres. Ventral half contains large cells known as megameres or macromere. First time cavity is formed in the developmental stage. It is known as body cavity. So primary body cavity, also known as blastocoele. So cavity present in the blastula, blastocoele. So once again, the development of all multicellular animal begin with single-celled zygote. The zygote undergo cleavage. Division of the zygote is known as cleavage. After repeated cleavages, the mass of solid ball-like structure is formed. It is known as morula. The mass of solid ball-like structure is known as morula. Morula also known as first developmental stage. Why it get the name morula? It resembles like multiple fruit mulberry. Multiple fruit mulberry. That's why it got the name morula. Later, all the cells are arranged in a single layer known as blastula. What is blastula? Hollow ball-like structure. Hollow means cavity. Hollow ball-like structure containing cells in a single layer is known as blastula. Solid mass of ball-like structure is known as morula. Dorsal half of the blastula contain micromere, or you may say dorsal is known as animal hemisphere. Ventral part is known as vegetal hemisphere. Animal hemisphere contains small cells known as micromeres, and vegetal hemisphere contain large cells known as megameres or macromeres. Cavity of blastula is known as blastocoele. First body cavity is blastocoele, also known as primary body cavity. Next one. Now megameres invaginate. Invagination. What is invagination? Fold inwards. Megameres folded. So due to folding of megameres, another cavity is formed. In the blastula only one cavity is present, that is blastocoele. Due to invagination of megameres, two cavities are formed. The cavity present between ectoderm and endoderm is known as blastocoele. The cavity encircled by endoderm is known as archenteron. Now the archenteron opens out through an aperture known as blastopore. First opening during the development is blastopore. First body cavity is blastocoele. So this two-layered developmental stage is known as early gastrula. Later, some ectodermal cells, some endodermal cells form another layer between ectoderm and endoderm. In this manner, the early gastrula converted into late gastrula. It is early gastrula, late gastrula. In late gastrula stage, body wall contain 3 germinal layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. So body wall contain 3 germinal layers, that is triploblastic animal. But in early gastrula stage, body wall contain 2 layers only. Later, early gastrula converted into late gastrula in triploblastic animals. We already discussed in the members of phylum Cnidaria and Ctenophora, gastrula contain only 2 layers. Both early gastrula, late gastrula contain 2 layers only. From Platyhelminthes, first blastula converted into early gastrula, later early gastrula converted into late gastrula. From Platyhelminthes to Chordata, in late gastrula, body wall contain 3 germinal layers. Okay, blastopore. Opposite to blastopore, another opening is formed. In this manner, archenteron develop into developing elementary canal. It is the body wall and elementary canal. What is the coelom? Cavity present between body wall and elementary canal. In embryonic stage, ectoderm. So in fetal stage, so what happened? It become the body wall. What is the coelom? Cavity present between body wall and elementary canal lined by mesodermal layers is known as the coelom. So if you understand the development of multicellular organism, you can easily understand the types of coeloms. So development of multicellular organism. All multicellular animals begin their life as a single-celled zygote. Zygote is formed due to union of male and female gametes. So zygote undergo cleavage. Division of the zygote is known as cleavage. After repeated cleavages, cleavage means division. After repeated cleavages, the mass of cells appear as a solid ball-like structure known as morula. Morula is the first developmental stage. Later, the morula converted into blastula. What is blastula? Hollow ball-like structure. Morula, solid ball-like structure. Hollow ball-like structure in which cells are arranged in a single layer is known as blastula. Cavity of blastula is known as blastocele. Animal hemisphere means dorsal half. Animal hemisphere contain small cells known as micromeres. Ventral half is known as vegetal hemisphere. Vegetal hemisphere contain large cells known as megameres or macromeres. Next one, blastula converted into gastrula. How? Gastrula is formed due to invagination of megameres. What is invagination? Fold inwards. The megameres folded. Due to folding of megamere, another cavity is formed. That is archenteron. What is archenteron? The cavity surrounded by endoderm is known as archenteron. The cavity present between ectoderm and endoderm is known as blastocele. So gastrula contain 2 cavities. The cavity present between ectoderm and endoderm is blastocele. The cavity lined by endoderm is archenteron. Later, the archenteron opens out through an aperture that is known as blastopore. Opposite to blastopore, another opening arises. In this manner, archenteron develops into elementary canal. In some animal, blastopore develops into mouth. In some animal, anus. If it develop into mouth, opposite opening develop into anus. In this manner, from archenteron only, elementary canal is formed or developed. Later what happened? So the developmental stage contain two germinal layers is known as early gastrula. Later some cells of ectoderm, some cells of endoderm formed another layer between ectoderm and endoderm, that is known as mesoderm. So the developmental stage contain three germinal layers known as late gastrula. In late gastrula, three layers are present: ectoderm, outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, inner endoderm. So with the knowledge of development of multicellular organism, you can easily understand the coelom. Now we discuss coelom, types of coelom. Animals having coelom known as coelomates. So in platyhelminthes, what is acoelom? A means no, no coelom, known as acoelom. You already know gastrula stage. In the beginning ectoderm, endoderm. Later outer body wall, inner cavity. So outer body wall, inner alimentary canal. So what is the coelom? Cavity present between What is coelom? Cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal. Gut means alimentary canal. A cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal covered by mesodermal layers is known as coelom or true body cavity. Animals having coelom known as coelomates. Once again, coelom. Cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal. Alimentary canal also known as gut. Cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal covered by mesodermal layer. Observe. Inner surface of the body wall lined by parietal peritoneum, that is a mesodermal layer. Outer surface of alimentary canal lined by or covered by visceral peritoneum. So once again, coelom. Cavity present between body wall and gut or alimentary canal lined by mesodermal layers is known as coelom. Animals having coelom known as coelomates. Now we discuss acoelom. You already know gastrula stage. In the beginning, outer ectoderm, inner endoderm. Later, during the development, as the development progress, outer body wall, inner alimentary canal. It is the body wall and alimentary canal. So the cells present at the rim of gastrula. Rim means edge of the gastrula. You already know two-layered stage gastrula. The cells present at the rim means edge of the gastrula undergo repeated mitotic division, equal division. As a result, several cells are formed. The newly formed cells form a tissue between body wall and alimentary canal. This tissue is known as parenchyma tissue. So due to presence of parenchyma tissue between body wall and alimentary canal, coelom is absent. This condition is known as acoelom. A means no coelom. Why coelom is absent in members of platyhelminthes? Due to presence of parenchyma tissue or mesenchyma tissue. Once again, acoelom. Body cavity absent between body wall and alimentary canal is known as acoelom. Example, platyhelminthes. Why body cavity absent in platyhelminthes? Due to presence of parenchyma tissue between body wall and alimentary canal, coelom is absent. How it is formed? The cells present at the rim means edge. The cells present at the rim of gastrula undergo repeated mitotic division. As a result, several cells are formed. The newly formed cells form a parenchyma tissue. Due to presence of parenchyma tissue between body wall and alimentary canal, coelom is absent. Platyhelminthes. Simple definition: acoelom means due to presence of parenchyma tissue between body wall and gut, coelom is absent. So it is known as acoelom. Only one phylum, that is platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. Now we discuss pseudocoelom. What is acoelom? Due to presence of parenchyma between body wall and alimentary canal, body cavity is absent. This condition is known as acoelom. Example, platyhelminthes. Now we discuss pseudocoelom. pseudocoelom. Gastrula stage in pseudocoelom present in members of Aschelminthes and Rotifera. Members of phylum Rotifera possess pseudocoelom. What is pseudocoelom? Simple definition. Observe, cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal, but this cavity is not lined by mesodermal layers. So this cavity is not lined by mesodermal layers, is known as pseudocoelom. How it forms, now we discuss. Gastrula in Aschelminthes. Okay, you already know developmental stage, outer body wall, inner alimentary canal. The cells, same like in all animal. In Platyhelminthes, what happened? The cells present at the rim of gastrula undergo repeated mitotic division, parenchyma tissue is formed. So in members of Aschelminthes and Rotifera, the cells present at the rim of gastrula undergo repeated division. Numerous cells are formed. Some cells form a continuous layer inner to the body wall. This layer is known as parietal peritoneum. And some cells are congregate, clump closer. So come closer. As a result, sacs are formed. These are known as mesodermal pouches or mesodermal sacs. So you already know what is the coelom. A cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal lined by mesodermal layer. Here only inner surface of body wall is lined by mesodermal layer, but outer part, so inner surface of body wall is lined by mesodermal layer, but alimentary canal is not lined by mesodermal layer. So outer part of the body cavity has mesodermal layer. Inner part of the body cavity has no mesodermal layer. So it is known as pseudocoelom. Pseudo means false. You already know the definition of coelom. Cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal lined by mesodermal layers. Outer parietal peritoneum. Parietal peritoneum form the inner lining of body wall. Visceral peritoneum form the outer lining. Observe, cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal. This cavity is lined by, covered by mesodermal layers. Observe here, cavity is present between body wall and alimentary canal. Only outer part of the cavity lined by mesodermal layer. Inner part of the cavity not lined by any mesodermal layer. So visceral peritoneum is absent. So body cavity not lined by body cavity is present between body wall and alimentary canal, but it is not lined by mesodermal layer, is known as pseudocoelom. Muscles of the body wall developed from the parietal peritoneum. So mesodermal layer is not present, is not covered by outer layer of the alimentary canal. That's why in Aschelminthes and Rotifera, alimentary canal without muscles. To swallow the food material, some muscles of the body wall enter into the pharynx. That's why in members of phylum Aschelminthes and Rotifera, only pharynx is muscular and the remaining part of the alimentary canal is non-muscular. So what is pseudocoelom? Cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal and it is not lined by mesodermal layer is known as pseudocoelom. And the mesodermal layers, so these cells form mesodermal pouches. So the body cavity containing mesodermal pouches is pseudocoelom. Another unique character of pseudocoelomate. Animals having pseudocoelom known as pseudocoelomates. Pseudocoelomates. Pseudocoelomates are Aschelminthes and Rotifera. Animals without coelom known as acoelomates. Acoelomates example Platyhelminthes. Acoelomates example Platyhelminthes. Pseudocoelomates example Aschelminthes and Rotifera. What is acoelom? Due to presence of parenchyma tissue between body wall and alimentary canal, body cavity is absent, known as acoelom. Body cavity is present between body wall and alimentary canal. It is not lined by mesodermal layer, is known as pseudocoelom. Pseudocoelom is present in Aschelminthes and Rotifera, or seen in Aschelminthes and Rotifera. Now we discuss coelom. Coelomates. Pseudocoelom means false coelom. Depending upon the formation, what are coelomates? Animals having coelom known as coelomates. Depending upon the formation of the coelom is of two types, schizocoelom and enterocoelom. Now we discuss schizocoelom. Schizoscoelom, also known as a split body cavity. Depending upon the formation of coelom, coelom is of two types. One is schizoscoelom, another one is enterocoelom. You already know gastrula stage. As the development progress, outer body wall, inner alimentary canal. The cells present at the rim, means edge of the gastrula, undergo repeated mitotic division. As a result, several new cells are formed. The newly formed cells congregate, come closer, form the paired blocks. They are known as mesodermal block. One pair, another pair. In this manner, paired mesodermal blocks between body wall and alimentary canal. Later, these blocks split. Due to splitting, a cavity is formed. This cavity is present between body wall and alimentary canal, lined by mesodermal layer. So it is a coelom. Further, the cells move away. Some cells form a continuous layer inner to the body wall. Some cells form a continuous layer on the alimentary canal. The cellular layer form the inner lining of body wall is known as parietal peritoneum. The cellular layer form the outer lining of alimentary canal is known as visceral peritoneum. So observe. Now a cavity is present between body wall and alimentary canal. This cavity is lined by mesodermal layer. So it is known as coelom. How it is formed? Due to splitting of mesodermal blocks. We considered mesodermal blocks as mesoderm. The mesodermal blocks split. As a result, coelom is formed. That's why it is known as schizoscoelom or split body cavity. It is one type of coelom. Split body cavity. Seen in members of phylum Annelida, Arthropoda and Mollusca. So this type of coelom is seen in Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. How in Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca coelom is formed? Due to splitting of mesodermal blocks. If coelom is formed due to splitting of mesodermal blocks, it is known as schizoscoelom. Simple definition. If coelom is formed due to splitting of mesodermal blocks, it is known as schizoscoelom. Schizoscoelom also known as split body cavity. Example, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. So schizoscoelom. Once again, in gastrula stage, the cells present at the rim of gastrula undergo repeated mitotic division. Several new cells are formed. The newly formed cells congregate, come closer. As a result, paired mesodermal blocks are formed. Later, mesodermal blocks split. Due to splitting of mesodermal blocks, a cavity is formed. It is the cavity where it is present between body wall and alimentary canal. So it is a coelom. Later, the cells move further away and some cells form a continuous layer inner to the body wall. Some cells form a continuous layer outer to alimentary canal. The mesodermal layer form the inner lining of body wall, parietal peritoneum. The mesodermal layer form the outer lining of alimentary canal, visceral peritoneum. So, in this manner, coelom is formed in members of phylum Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. So, schizoscoelom is seen or observed in members of phylum Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. Simple definition. If coelom is formed due to splitting of mesodermal blocks, is known as schizoscoelom. Example, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. How schizoscoelom is formed? The cells present at the rim of gastrula undergo repeated mitotic division. Numerous cells are formed. These cells form the paired mesodermal blocks. Later the mesodermal blocks split. Due to splitting, a cavity is formed. Later the cells move away further and some cells form a continuous layer inner to body wall. Some cells form a continuous layer on the alimentary canal. In this manner coelom is formed. So formation of coelom is different. Once coelom is formed, characters of coelom same. Cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal lined by mesodermal layer is known as coelom. So schizocoelom seen in Annelida, Arthropoda, mollusca. So simple definition is, if coelom is formed due to splitting of mesodermal blocks, is known as schizocoelom or split body cavity. Now we discuss enterocoelom. Formation of enterocoelom. If coelom is formed from the archenteron, is known as enterocoelom. What is archenteron? We already discussed in gastrula stage, cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal is known as blastocele. The cavity encircled by endoderm is known as archenteron. Or cavity present between ectoderm and endoderm, also blastocele. Cavity lined by endoderm is known as archenteron. So, simple definition: if coelom is formed from the archenteron known as enterocoelom. Example: echinodermata, hemichordata, chordata. So, enterocoelom is seen in members of phylum echinodermata, hemichordata, chordata. Schizocoelom is seen in members of phylum Annelida, Arthropoda, mollusca. So all these 6 phyla, so as a coelomates, in our textbook given coelomates, that is correct only. But in NEET exam or CET, so you have to prepare in detail. So in echinodermata, hemichordata, chordata, enterocoelom. Annelida, Arthropoda, mollusca, schizocoelom. So schizocoelom, enterocoelom is 2 types depending upon the formation. Once coelom is formed, same character. Here also observe body wall and alimentary canal. So a cavity is present between body wall and alimentary canal lined by mesodermal layers. Lined or covered by mesodermal layers is known as coelom. Now we discuss how enterocoelom is formed. Archenteron, evaginate. What is evaginate? Evaginate means fold outwards. Archenteron, evaginate. As a result, 2 mesodermal pouches are formed. Later, the 2 mesodermal pouches pinched off, separated from the archenteron. As a result, mesodermal sacs are formed. The 2 mesodermal sacs increases in size. Observe, here small, large. The 2 mesodermal sacs increases in size till they are connected at the anterior end, later united. Here also observed, it is one mesodermal sac, it is another mesodermal sac. The 2 mesodermal sacs unite or fused. As a result, coelom is formed. Observe, a cavity is present between body wall and alimentary canal lined by mesodermal layers. What is the difference in schizocoelom and enterocoelom? Difference only in the formation of coelom. Once coelom is formed, characters same. Simple definition for enterocoelom: coelom formed from the archenteron is known as enterocoelom. Example: members of phylum echinodermata, hemichordata, chordata. How enterocoelom is formed? Archenteron, evaginate. Evaginate means fold outward. For example, it is the cavity. So fold outwards. Fold outwards is known as evagination. Fold inwards is known as invagination. Archenteron, evaginate. As a result, 2 mesodermal pouches are formed. Later, the 2 mesodermal pouches pinched off, separated. As a result, 2 mesodermal sacs are formed. The 2 mesodermal sacs increases in size till they are connected at the anterior end. Later, the 2 mesodermal sacs unite. As a result, coelom is formed. Example: echinodermata, hemichordata, chordata. What is coelom? Body cavity present between body wall and alimentary canal lined by mesodermal layers. A coelom, example platyhelminthes. Pseudocoelom, example Aschelminthes and Rotifera. Schizocoelom, example Annelida, Arthropoda, mollusca. Enterocoelom, example echinodermata, hemichordata, chordata. So this is about coelom.